Hi, I'm John. Welcome to Mead Hall. Today we have Sap House Meadery. They have some big regional specialties and some unique flavors that we haven't seen before. We're tasting our first Acerglyns. To see what that's like, keep watching. I'd like to thank my friends Rob and Tiffany for thinking of us while celebrating her birthday. This episode is all because of you. Oh man, I need to drink this mead. This part of New Hampshire is all about maple syrup, so it's only natural that their flagship mead is an Acerglyn. That is, a mead made with maple syrup. What we're going to be drinking today is our first Acerglyn, a tea mead, a popped blueberry Acerglyn, and a raspberry melomel aged in a port barrel. This is sugar maple. And Acerglyn. Here we have a wildflower honey mead with maple syrup. There's also some black tea in here, so I hope that there's some good tannins. One thing right away I want to point out is they have a really cool wax seal on the top of their bottle. A little wax never hurt anybody. Beautiful clarity here. Nice amber color. So nothing but really fine particles here. Oh wow, getting some really cool aromas here. Definitely maple, and maple syrup is coming through right away. I'm getting some nice honey aroma. Some really cool florals here. That has a very unique taste. The maple syrup is definitely there, and this is on the drier side of semi-sweet. There's a little bit of tannins from the tea. The honey flavor's there, the maple syrup there. I'm really glad to see that this doesn't have a syrupy texture. Maple syrup, I think of super saccharinely sweet, kind of like just pancake syrup.
What's the matter? Your mama didn't teach you how to chug? Come on, Thorn. Come on, Thorn. Oh.
It kind of tastes like it just had a waffle.
No question, absolutely maple syrup in here. This has a very similar bouquet to Allwise Meadery's oolong tea, which as a one ingredient proved a very helpful study. There's definitely some distinct layers of flavor in this mead, and I keep going back for it. Alright, our next mead, we're going to go with their Experiment 181 Chamomile Tea Mead. Now, the reason that we're going with this one instead of their other Acerglyn is that this, I suspect, will have a very delicate flavor. Ooh, look at what we have here. There is definitely a ring of sediment in this bottle. I'm going to just go ahead right now and shake this up, because if one thing I've learned is that if there's sediment in the bottle, I want to drink it. Sediment has flavor, and with chamomile tea, chamomile is a very delicate flavor. I've been drinking chamomile tea ever since I was young to help relax, and so who knows, maybe at 15% alcohol, this is the adult version I didn't know I wanted.
You're very close to my hats with your coffee.
Darling, this is chamomile tea.
Oh.
Still fairly clean. Alright, just a little bit of haze introduced from shaking all that sediment around. On the other label, it did say, natural product may contain sediment. So, we have been warned, and I'm okay with that. Very mild fragrance. I'm getting just a lot of honey aroma, a lot of just more like a traditional mead. Okay, there it is. This is definitely unique. The chamomile flavor is definitely buoyed up by the alcohol, dispersed around. I will say that at 15.6%, the alcohol is a bit strong for my taste. I would probably want this a little bit of a sweeter or a low alcohol mead, but I can definitely taste the chamomile flavors in here. At Sap House Meadery, they do a mead bar, and they make mead cocktails. So I suspect with a high ABV like this, this would be a prime ingredient for a mead cocktail. I would say kind of like in the middle of a semi-sweet. This is the adult version of a relaxing chamomile tea. Our third mead is a blueberry hopped Acerglyn, and one of their slogans is, "Not all meads are created equal." Look at that color. Awesome. Blueberry can run the gamut from kind of a pinkish all the way to purple. Getting some fruity notes from the blueberry, and I'm getting a little bit of hop notes too. There's a lot going on in here. All right, so this is a really nice semi-sweet mead, and there's a bit of bitterness from the hops. I feel like I want more of all of these flavors. While I could taste the blueberry, and I could taste the hops, and I can make out the maple syrup, I really wish that all three of them were just a bit more well represented. And as you know, I just want to get punched in the face with hops, and so if there's a hop mead, I really want to be able to taste it. The slight bitterness, it was there. It was much more subtle than I expected. I would say overall that this is a subtle but well-made mead. All right, our final mead, a port wine barrel-aged mead. So we reviewed a lot of whiskey barrel-aged meads, some bourbon barrel-aged meads, and some red wine barrel-aged meads, but this is going to be our first port. Now, it's also a raspberry melomel, and so I'm hoping the fruit and the port wine synergize really nicely. I'm wondering what kind of port they use. I'm suspecting out of the different types of port that they use, it's either going to be a ruby port or a tawny port, because those are the redder versions. I'm smelling the raspberry already. Oh man, I love it. I love it when I can smell the mead and my nose is nowhere near it. Okay, I'm looking and I see only fine particles here. Big, bold raspberry bouquet. I love that smell. The raspberries are on the sweeter side of this raspberry scale. As we know, they can go from very tart or very sweet. The port has nicely imparted its essence into it. The aftertaste, definitely reminiscent of a port wine. I do feel like the port is building on the fruity flavor from this raspberry melomel though. I feel like the port wine barrel is really shining here at the very end. I really enjoyed their flagship mead, Sugar Maple. This Acerglyn was very well balanced between the tea tannins, the honey, and the special flavor of maple syrup. It's nothing like I've ever had before. The Chamomile mead. This was a nice earthy mead. Even though the ABV was a bit high for me, I feel like this would be a good primary ingredient in a mead cocktail for a relaxing nightcap. The hopped blueberry maple. Now, I did taste all of the ingredients represented in this mead. I would have liked stronger flavors all around, especially with the blueberry. Higher learning. I enjoyed the light tartness of this raspberry flavor, and I feel that the aging in the port wine barrel really enhanced this raspberry melomel. My pick this week is their flagship, Sugar Maple. This Acerglyn represents the unique flavors of New England. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as always, if there's a mead that you want us to review, let us know in the comments and we'll try to find it. Love you. Bye. What? Okay. Ah, God damn it!
Oh my God. Get that away from you. Put it somewhere else.
It's holy. I think that the benchmark of success is, do the ingredients improve the mead? Called it! All right.